One Kansas City man is watching what unfolds in his home country of Lebanon as he opens a restaurant in his new home. Beirut Taco blends Lebanese and Mexican flavors, and those two cultures have more shared history than you think. KCTV5's Chandler Watkins takes us inside.
It gives me a chance really people to know our culture, where we come from.
In the West 39th District in KC, a new restaurant is in town, Beirut Taco. Chef Maher Shabaro wanted to showcase Lebanese and Mexican cuisine, which is more intertwined than you may think.
During the war, the 40s, a lot of Lebanese Iraqis moved to Mexico, Puebla, Mexico City, all over. And that's really how El Pastor came about. It was shawarma in Puebla.
His fascination with Mexico started when he saw lucha libre wrestlers travel to his hometown of Beirut. You can find a few photos of them up in the restaurant. And the more Shabaro traveled, the more similarities he saw between the two countries. From a Chipotle falafel to lamb chorizo gyros, Shabaro is sharing his heritage interwoven with his love for Mexican culture.
I combine techniques, flavor, and most of all, respect to both cuisine.
For him, the phrase "two cultures, one kitchen" goes beyond the food. It's also a chance to show people where he comes from.
We've been living through wars for too long. But throughout time, really, we always survive. And that's really our culture. We're very open. We love to have fun. We love to live.
Reporting in Kansas City, Chandler Watkins, KCTV 5 News.